To get the dealer's cost, the list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates, click on the Car Cost Canada tab at any time during the video. Welcome to Texas for the launch of the all-new GLE from Mercedes-Benz. Now, you might remember back to the beginnings of the luxury SUV space, and you might not. It started in 1997 when Mercedes-Benz brought out the original ML, and they actually have Mercedes-Benz ML #1 here with all of the people that worked on the car signing as it went down the line. So it's very cool to see that original one, and here we have the 2020 model. That's right, 2020 GLE. It's going to be available in North America in the middle of 2019. Now, I got to tell you, I go on vehicle launches almost every single week, and this one is intimidating because there is so much technology in this new GLE, it's almost hard to know where to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the outside, work to the inside, take it for a drive, and explain at least some, or if not all, of the features that are available in this GLE. So first of all, it's all new from the wheels up, brand new platform. It's bigger than the previous GLE. It's just over 100 millimeters longer overall. It's 80 millimeters longer in the wheelbase, and that is a big deal because now for the very first time, Mercedes has made available a third row of seats in the GLE as an option if you want to take 2 extra passengers. It's sold initially as the GLE 350, and the one we have here is the 450. It's available with the AMG Appearance Package, which is the one I have here, Sport Packages, a lot of different variations. So on the outside, I think it's a great looking product. It certainly has a muscular stance. It's got some nice curves to it. It's been great being able to drive around and seeing the other ones on the road. I think a really nice looking product and just the right size. When you compare it to the original ML, this is so much bigger, and that's what people are looking for in utilities. So I'm not going to talk too much about the outside. You can decide what you like and don't like about it, but I'm going to sit inside and show you some pretty cool technology, and then we'll take it for a drive. So when you get in this GLE, it's bam, wow, they definitely have a real showcase with this product. Now, we have seen this dual panel system on the S-Class and the E-Class and even the new A-Class, and here it is in the GLE, but it has some cool features that I want to talk about. First of all, you get both big screens in the center of the dashboard. The one that's the most important is the communications system that they now call Mercedes-Benz User Experience, MBUX. There are touch pads on either side of the steering wheel that you can use your thumbs to operate. You have a trackpad here in the center of the console that you can use. You can also use the screen itself and touch it, and you can also use voice commands. You can go, "Hey Mercedes."
Hey Mercedes.
How can I help you?
I'm hungry.
Please select an entry.
So those are all the different ways that you can go through this. On top of that, this car also has gesture controls. You can use your hands in different ways. For example, you can put 2 fingers up and it goes to whatever your favorite setting is. If that is home navigation setting, it'll do that. So there's so much to talk about with the gesture controls. I'm going to put a card up here, and you can click on another video that I did with one of the engineers who explains it and goes into much more detail and shows you. So that's interesting. Watch that when you get a moment. Now, when you get in and you look at the screens and interacting with it, it is a bit overwhelming at first. But what's been done very, very well with this product is once you've done something once or twice, it really becomes second nature and you remember how to do it. So yes, initially there's some adjustment and a learning curve, but once you've gone up that curve, everything else is seamless because all of the systems are basically the same. You're repeating the same things over and over. It doesn't matter what you're in, it's all done the same way. So kudos to them for taking what looks like a very complex system and making it as intuitive as possible. Now, basic ergonomics. I love the big grab handles. This reminds me a lot. When I first got in this GLE, I'm like, that looks a lot like Cayenne. And it does, but you know what? I love it in that product and I love it here as well. There's a wireless charging pad in the center of the console. You have the available heated and cooled cup holders. You have the trackpad, as I mentioned, you can use that on the screen, and a resting pad as well. And then there's some other features I'll get into when I'm driving. So this really is something that you are paying for, and it looks like you paid for it. Now let's get into general functionality because these are used as family vehicles. There is an enormous amount of space in the back seat, which is great. And as I mentioned, you can now opt for a third row of seats, which are going to be used just in a pinch. If you want to have a real third row, you're probably best to get the GLS. Now there's one thing I'd like to see. So you have all of this beautiful stitch, soft touch materials all the way down to your knee, but below that, it's hard plastic. I think that's a bit of a reversal in this car, considering that they have so much new technology. To have something basic like that in this GLE really seems to me to be a bit of a step backwards. I'm a stickler for that in premium products because it scuffs and scratches, but you decide whether you think that's important. Overall, comfortable, a commanding view down the road, bigger on the inside, that's going to be welcomed by a lot of people. Now, as I mentioned, there is so much going on with this new GLE. I'm going to start with the basics, work up to the more spectacular stuff, because there's a lot going on here. So we'll start with the engines. A big difference is now the base engine in the GLE 350 is a turbo 4-cylinder. Gone is the base 6-cylinder, now it's a turbo 4. Now in the GLC, you get 241 horsepower, but with this GLE, it's a 2-liter, you get 255 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. I suspect a lot of people are going to go up to the vehicle that I'm driving today, that's the GLE 450, and what I love about this is they've gone back to the inline 6-cylinder. Mercedes-Benz had kind of abandoned that for a long time. Now it's back. And the great thing about inline 6-cylinder engines is that they're so smooth. It's linear power. BMW, a major competitor, has been using them forever, and it's good to have Mercedes back doing that. This inline 6-cylinder has 362 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, which is more than the existing twin-turbo V6 that's in the current 400. Then we get into where it's going. It's going through a 9-speed automatic to their 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. So the base suspension is a steel spring and regular shock absorber. Then you go up to an air suspension, and we've seen that in the GLE in the past. That's the one I'm driving right now. And then on top of that, you need to order the air suspension to get what's called e-active body control. So what they have is the world's first system that uses the air suspension and electronic actuators to raise and lower the vehicle. And last night when we arrived at the hotel, they put on a little display. They got the GLE to dance up and down and do all kinds of neat things to show just how much travel there is. So when this vehicle's in its off-road setting, it can be 16 centimeters higher than the existing ride height. And we also did a quick demonstration with one of the engineers today. So if you want to see it getting out of sand, so click on the card above. It's kind of a neat kind of party trick that this vehicle is able to do. So not only can that system raise and lower the suspension, it can also counter pitch and roll. What does that mean? When you're coming into a corner, typically the vehicle starts to have body roll. It counteracts that to the point where the vehicle is actually counteracting the corner. The way you would lean on a motorcycle, the GLE has the ability to do that as well. Also, when you're jamming on the brakes, it can help put force against the inertia of the vehicle. So all very advanced technology, but we don't have the price on that, and the vehicle won't be available for sale for several months. So I asked them, how much is this in the European market? And they say to get the e-active suspension, it's going to be about 6,000 euros more. So we'll have to wait to get the definitive numbers, but you know it's not going to be an inexpensive system, and it is a Mercedes-Benz after all. So what are my initial thoughts on this? Well, I find the regular air suspension that I'm driving now is too soft for my taste. So you can put it in comfort, you can put it in sport, and even in its sportiest setting, it really is a little bit too soft. Also, the steering has a very light feel to it, and when you have it with the lane keep assist on, it has this almost artificial computer game kind of feel to it. However, on the opposite side, traditional luxury buyers that love Mercedes-Benz for the smooth, comfortable, quiet, refined interior are absolutely going to love this. So it depends on which camp you're in and how big your wallet is. So much going on with this GLE. Packaging, I think it looks really good. I like the inside. There's real showstopper kind of technology in here. And depending on your taste and budget, you can get the GLE to perform how you like. What I can't wait to see is what they can do with that e-active suspension when they have the AMG letters attached to it. That should be exciting. So this GLE is arriving in the middle of 2019. Think summer of 2019 as a 2020 product. There is so much going on with this new vehicle. It's hard to even summarize my thoughts. There are some certain high points and a couple of things I wish that they would address. The first one is, I think you should probably go for the 450 to get the inline six-cylinder, because inline six-cylinders really are the best for a vehicle. The best really for this would be a turbo diesel, but we're not getting into that. Then you get into the suspension. I don't love air suspensions. They're a bit too much of the traditional luxury feel. The E-Active suspension would be something to consider, but we don't have the price yet. It's probably going to be quite a premium over the regular vehicle in order to get that. The interior is a bit overwhelming at first, but you quickly learn the system. The gesture controls are cool, and the overall layout is really first rate. It looks fantastic when you get in it. You know that you spent your money, and it shows for not only you, but your passengers. Has this moved to the top of the pack? Well, I still have to drive the all-new X5, but so far, the GLE from Mercedes-Benz, if you're in the market for a premium, either 5 or 7 passenger utility, you have to wait and drive this before you make your decision. It really is a bit of a showstopper. Car Cost Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below.